Hello. Today we're going to do a quick benchtop installation of the HP Industries spec low receiver pin for the CZ Scorpion 3 Plus. The HBI spec pin is going to come, of course, with a pin and also a drill bit. The drill bit may or may not be needed for the installation of the pin. It's just going to depend on production variation in your low receiver. So as you can probably gather, we've got two different CZ Scorpion 3 Plus models here. This one's a micro, this one's a pistol. You can kind of tell the difference. The micro has a shorter handguard, pistol having a longer handguard, and they have different muzzle devices. But the reason you might want to install an HBI spec pin would be if you have some play or some looseness or slop in your lower receiver. The fit, I should say, between the lower receiver and the upper receiver of the firearm. The HBI spec pin will help to reduce that, if not eliminate it. So we're going to install the pin into our micro first. On the micro, we're not going to need to use the drill bit. On the pistol, we will. And it could change. Sometimes maybe your micro needs a drill bit, or sometimes maybe your pistol would not require the drilling. But on these two lowers, we've already kind of checked them and verified that this one will not require a drill. This one will require a drill. So let's go ahead and do the micro first. We are, just because it's going to be quick and easy. So most of the 3 Plus models we've seen do not require the drill. So to replace the takedown pin, verify weapon's clear, and push the receiver pin out from the ejection port side. We're going to pull it out of the non-ejection port side, rock the lower down and forward. The takedown pin itself is retained by, I think, what's called a hairpin clip. It just looks like a little kind of a pin or a clip shaped like a U. So I'm going to use a pocket screwdriver to pull it out. You could also use a punch or maybe a pair of tweezers, but this is what the hairpin clip looks like. It is, again, the only element that is going to retain your takedown pin, your factory takedown pin. So installation here is as simple as removing the factory takedown pin and installing the HBI spec pin. And you'll see it slips right in to the lower receiver. You can install it from either side. And that's kind of important. We'll show you on the drilled one the difference. So go ahead and install the pin again from what I would call the left side into the right side. And with the pin in place, reinstall the circlip or the hairpin clip. It's going to go with the closed end or the small loop I'm going to have facing the muzzle side of the receiver. So go ahead and, I like to just, same way it came out, slide it back in around the pin and push down. And then you can kind of tuck the loop or the small hoop down against, kind of flush with the lower receiver there. We're gonna discard the drill and the factory takedown pin, and we're gonna now, I guess, check function. So make sure that the hairpin clip is retaining the pin should stop, have a good stop with the hairpin clip inside the lower receiver. And we're gonna reinstall it, do the upper receiver, and I don't know if you can see that, but it's a much better fit, more snug, and the play is gone. So let's go ahead and do our pistol now. We'll set the micro aside. The pistol, again, is going to require us to drill. So let's grab another kit. Again, the HBI spec pin's going to come with the receiver pin and with the drill. So this one is loose. We're going to check, make sure it's clear. Push the pin from the ejection port side, pull it out the non-ejection port side of the lower receiver, and remove the factory takedown pin same way as before. We're going to kind of rotate our hairpin clip up into position so that the little hoop on the small diameter, or the hoop on the hairpin clip, is pointing forward, and kind of hook it. I guess I'll show you on here. Hook it and pull it forward, removing it from the lower and from the takedown pin. Save our hairpin clip and discard our factory takedown pin. So like we talked about, we may need to use the drill bit in some cases. We're going to have to remember that the lower receivers are injection molded and there are going to be some tolerance stacking going on. There are steel inserts molded into a plastic lower. So one way to kind of check if you would need to drill or not would be to take your the new HBI spec pin and try installing it into the lower receiver. We're going to see, I think on this one, that it does kind of start and install from the right side here, but it's tight. And if you kind of go from the left side, it doesn't want to go in. It's going to get hung up on this steel insert that's in the lower receiver. So we're going to have to, this is again going to be a, if I can get the pin out, it's going to be a situation where we have to drill the lower receiver just to make sure all of our holes are in alignment and get true position through all of our injection molded and steel parts in the lower receiver. So we can actually drill by hand. We're just going to use a small hand drill. Using the supplied drill bit, you want to make sure there's enough stick out, I guess I would call it, from your drill chuck to the tip of your drill bit so that you can reach all the way through the lower receiver. So I'm going to start from this right side and kind of use this side as like almost like a bushing and drill through the lower receiver. We'll do that right now. I like to kind of stop once you're through the first side, kind of just stop and reposition your hands and get the drill bit pressed flat up against this left side. And again, slowly we're going to just drill through it. Once the drill's all the way through, again, just walk it back out. Kind of going the way you came there. Gonna go ahead and we'll check our HBI pin again. So of course the left side it fit previously, and right side we've got nice smooth operation now. The pin sliding through our lower receiver. So go ahead and slide your pin in, and we're going to reinstall the hairpin clip. Again, we're going to use the little hoop or the smaller diameter side I'm going to have facing the muzzle. Kind of slide it back in that slot. And then use your tool. It could be a punch or a pin. Kind of like rotate I like to rotate the hairpin clip kind of just down and out of the way. There we go. Then check function on your pin. Make sure it doesn't fall out right. So in and out cleanly. And then we're going to reinstall the lower receiver into the upper receiver. Push the takedown pin in place and you'll see that player, that slop it's gone. So this one, again, the looseness or the play in the lower receiver was alleviated by installing the HBI spec receiver pin. That would be the way to do lower receiver pin installations on with or without the drill bit on your CZ Scorpion 3 Plus. If you have any questions or need any other additional information, please just reach out for us. Thanks for watching.